Baumbach and Greta Gerwig are one of the best director-writer and director-actor duos working in Hollywood today. Having been together since 2011, the two have collaborated on a total of 4 different movies over the decade, but arguably their best collaboration is 2012's Frances Ha, starring Greta Gerwig in the titular role. Frances Ha, a black and white comedy drama, tells the story of a 27-year-old struggling dancer set in New York. We follow Frances as she navigates financial struggle, unemployment, and both female and male friendship. Despite being a decade old, Frances Ha remains one of the best indie movies of the 2010s and arguably Greta Gerwig's best performance as an actress. In this video, I will be talking about why the character of Frances to this day still remains one of the most relatable characters within the film and what she ultimately teaches to millennials and those born in the late 90s. A recurring narrative of Frances Ha is a friendship between Frances and Sophie, who is shown to be her former's best friend. The movie presents the growth and maturity of their friendship. At the start of the movie, Sophie drops the bombshell that she is planning to move out of the two's apartment, which they rent together, and move in with a long-time boyfriend. A contrast is presented between the two and reveals their respective stage in life. Frances is at the point of her adulthood where she wants to live almost carefree and in the moment, which she chooses by not settling down and moving in with her ex-boyfriend, while Sophie is at the point and potentially ready for marriage and possibly motherhood and children. Frances considers Sophie's new move and next stage in her life as a betrayal to her and their strong friendship. Despite nearly being in her 30s, one could say Frances here is in the wrong, that she is selfish, a bad friend for being unsupportive and childish, which has some truth to it. Act 1 shows Frances' inability or refusal to grow up. After being forced to move out of their apartment due to being unable to pay the full rent, Frances spends the majority of the first act couch surfing, staying with her 2 male friends, eating out, staying in, and being lazy, and overall being aimless in life due to the figuratively loss of her best friend. Throughout the female-female friendship, both Frances and Sophie teaches us what sometimes befalls real-life friendship, which is that sometimes friends grow apart over time. Sometimes because of arguments and bad fights, but most times because life just gets in the way. In a way, Frances understands that time has come for Sophie to leave her life. And likewise, Sophie understands that she can't hold Frances' hand forever and that she'll have to start standing on her own 2 feet in order to grow and mature. The third act reinforces this. During the heart-to-heart conversation they share, Sophie reveals she suffered a miscarriage and that she's unhappy in her relationship. Sophie ultimately heads back to New York, leaving a note for Frances, which she sees and races to chase and try to stop her. Maturity is shown on Frances' part because, despite her current feelings, she knows she can't stay with Frances because not only would that be regressing, it would prevent the current process of Frances' own growth and maturity. Throughout the narrative, we get a glimpse into Frances' love life, or lack thereof. At the start of the movie, Frances is hesitant to move in with her boyfriend, which subsequently leads to their breakup. Her ex is shown to be somewhat turned off and annoyed by Frances' friendship with Sophie, and what's shown to the audience is that Sophie's very existence has become detrimental to one aspect of Frances' life. When it comes to real life, a person's family and friends can often make or break a relationship because if said person loves someone, they would also want their family and friends to like and love them too, because before anything else, they are the one who are the most important in their lives. Knowing that her boyfriend, in her mind, hates Sophie, or more specifically, her close bond with her, is what makes it easier for Frances to be accepting of their breakup. Not to say her ex is the problem, far be it, because her ex is right in his decision, because deep down he somehow knows that Frances is tied down to Sophie, which makes her unable to commit and subsequently take the next steps in her life. So he would rather be with someone who is ready. Post-breakup, Frances refers to herself as being undateable. While she is shown to laugh at her pain, it's clear that she masks her pain and that deep down she does want to meet someone, fall in love and start a life with them. But again, she's her own worst enemy because of her friendship with Sophie. Something that's great about Frances' love life is how it presents both sides of loneliness and relationships. Frances' refusal to commit and move in with her ex on the surface could just show that she isn't ready, but perhaps deep down her refusal comes from perhaps not wanting a simple life or a life that conforms with old values, where Frances will get married, have children and become a housewife. With Sophie, although she is happy, her heart-to-heart and revelation of her miscarriage shows that relationships will always move past the honeymoon period, that a couple, be it together or married, will always have fights and arguments, and there will always be difficulty in maintaining a strong relationship. Frances' speech of what she wants is a great piece of acting, dialogue, and writing because of what it represents and how it comes full circle at the end. Unknowingly to Frances, she had that with Sophie in their long years of friendship, and thankfully still have that at the end when they reconcile and see each other at Frances' first opening night as a new dance choreographer. At the same time, a potential romance is hidden between Frances and her friend Benji, who is shown throughout the movie, letting her crash at his and his friend's place for a while and bonding with her over their mutual interest and similar personalities. The fact that the two are shown to have developed an attraction to each other teaches a life lesson of the nature of love, that it always comes to us when we least expect it, and that it shouldn't be desperately chased or sought out of loneliness, because time and patience brings it forth. Frances' relatability is shown with a strong drive and hunger of her dreams. She doesn't have a 9 to 5, and while she takes a few odd jobs in order to make ends meet and survive, she doesn't stop pursuing becoming a dancer. While she faces constant setbacks, the movie doesn't mention that she was injured, but instead subtly shows that, compared to the others at the dance company where she's apprenticing, she's a bad dancer, and that unfortunately she's either too old to become a dancer or too late because of her age. One of the veteran teachers offers career advice to Frances, and despite that she stubbornly gives it no mind because she will be settling and letting go of her dream, the climax of the movie goes against this. In the end, Frances becomes a choreographer at the same company and starts teaching young dancers and puts on a rehearsal of her own, which is well received by her friends. I think here the movie again presents time, showing that it takes time for everyone to figure out the thing they want to do in life, the thing that will make them happy. While some could say Frances settles, I would disagree, because the movie makes it clear Frances was born to teach and direct instead of being directed herself. And saying this, I can't help but draw comparisons to Greta Gerwig herself. Whether she based Frances on herself entirely or not, the character being satisfied and fulfilled at the end represents Greta Gerwig's own career. Having stated how she struggled as an actress at the beginning of her career, she stuck it out, which led her to become one of the best female filmmakers working today, with her directorial debut Lady Bird, Little Women, and the upcoming Barbie movie all being well received by critics and anticipated respectfully. To wrap up the video, I will say this: Frances Ha is one of the best independent movies of the 2010s and has one of the best and most relatable characters, because both Frances and the movie teaches us lessons about love, friendship, dreams, and life in general, and its highs and lows, especially being a young person in their early, mid, and late 20s. It's a cathartic and therapeutic movie because it shows that it's okay to be lost and make mistakes, and that at the end of the day, with having patience and people to love who will support you, everything will work out. Maybe not the way you originally planned out, but in its own way, and that ultimately to take pleasures of the simple thing, the unexpected, and the journey. Thank you for watching this video. This is my third video that I made, and I'm still going strong, and I know that sometimes I may mumble, but thank you for watching the video so far to the end, and please, I hope that you subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.